Hello YouTube. I wanted to do an updated deck profile on my Harpy deck for the April 1st, 2014 ban list. I have changed a few things up. I'm still running the synchro variant with the Mist Valley, even though it's at 1. As soon as I get a few more cards, I want to do a pure Exceed variant with no synchros and no Mist Valley. But so far, the build is 3 channelers, 3 dancers. I've seen people only run 2 lately in some YCS builds and stuff. And dancer is really most of your pops. It's a really, really good card. 3 queens. It's self-explanatory. You always need your field. 2 Harpy Lady 1s. I don't like cybers, and I don't like drawing them, so I cut it to 2 and it still works. 2 dragons. I don't like Tempest in the build, so I'm running 2 dragons instead. It does suck the very few games where you draw both, but I have enough discard outlets in the deck, and Queen Dragon Djinn allows for late game Exceed plays for rank 7s. Now, for the 1-ofs, I have 1 Sephiroth, 1 Gen X Ally Birdman, and Dragoonity Darkspear. Dragoonity Darkspear is really good. Even if you don't use it as a tuner, if you don't have a channeler and you really need that channeler, you could just summon it, tribute it, get the channeler from your graveyard, and then go for your rank 7 play, or rank 4, whichever one you need. And it has a lot of synergy with the deck. And could also be summoned off Mist Valley. Now for spells, I run 3 Hunting Ground, 3 Hysteric Sign, which this is pretty much mandatory in the deck. That is the deck. 2 MSTs. At the very worst, I pop my own signs to get a play. Because sometimes with Harpies, you don't have the greatest consistency, and popping your own sign with MST sometimes is a must. Plus, you can't always rely on the field spell. Then 1 Elegant Egotist is recyclable with sign if I need it. I only run 2 targets for it anyway. And Divine Wind of Mist Valley. This card's really good when you get it off. It has a lot of synergy with the deck, and it sucks it's 2-1. But I still use it. Now for traps. I run 3 Fiendish Chain. Effect negations key this format. 2 Hysteric Party. I found that 3 gets cloggy sometimes. 2 Icarus attack. 2 Mirror Force. Even though I'm thinking about swapping them out for Deep Prisons, but I'm not sure yet. Divine Wrath. This is a card I really love, and it works really well in Harpies. Unless they have something like 7 tools, they can't really chain to it. This wins me a lot of games, especially if you pitch Sign, you go +3 off it. Plus, depending if you get rid of an Exiton or something with it, you could go super plus with it. Phoenix Windblast, because I really don't like Compulse. It's another discard outlet for the deck, and it works really well. In my opinion, it's a better Compulse if you have the discard outlet. And finally, for the 1-offs, Torrential, Bottomless, and Solemn. Now, for the extra deck, I do run the Synchro build. I used to run Ancient Fairy Dragon, but I'm trying to try this out. It's a really good card. I really do like its effects. Whenever you activate a field spell and it resolves, you draw a card. And when you control a field spell, it pops any attack precision monster your opponent controls once per turn, which I think that's a pretty good effect. Then Black Rose. This is my Exiton. Once I get an Exiton Knight, I will stop running Synchro variant. Once I get an Exiton, a second 101, and Key Beetle. That's really all I need for my extra deck right now. Leo, because I think this is the Synchro star of the format. You can't target it except during my main phase 2, and that's an optional main phase. I could just end my battle phase at my turn, done. He's really good for poking for game. I can make him pretty easily, just like Channeler, discard something, summon Dragon, get Gen X Ally Birdman, get Channeler back to my hand, then synchro with the dragon and the Birdman for Leo, or summon Dragoonity Dark Spear off a channeler, like channeler, summon Harpy Dancer, Dancer off Mist Valley gets me Dark Spear. Channeler becomes level 7 because Dark Spear's a dragon, and then you synchro for 10. I summoned Leo a lot lately, and it's a really good card. A lot of decks can't get over it. The few cards that most decks run, they get over it's Mirror Force and Dark Hole and Exciton. But if they have advantage and you just make this, not even Exciton will save them then. It's a really good card. In the mirror match, I think it's Ice Beast Zero Fine can get over it if you have enough cards. And that's about it. Now for the Exceeds, I took out Cowboy and I'm running this instead now. Heartland Draco, it's 2000 to the face and it could win games. Cowboy does have its uses though, so I'm thinking about making room for it again. But for now, I'm running Draco. Then I'm running 2 ICB Zero Fines. I used to only run 1, but it's really important. And I think it works as well as Black Ship because I used to run a Black Ship. And I just put a second one of these instead because, in my opinion, they do about the same thing. And this card wins a lot of games, especially the Noble Knight matchup. Just negate all their Noble Arms and negate their monster, and then you gain a lot of attack. And then you just attack over it. And Destiny won't protect them. Queen Dragon the Djinn, this card's essential for the deck. It's all your rank 7 plays late game once you exhausted your dragons. Abyss Dweller, I think this card's spectacular, especially against Dark World and against Water. And in the mirror match too. I like to make this in the mirror match before the end phase when my opponent pitches a sign during my turn. And I'll just summon this and I'll pitch it. I'll use this effect. And then their sign doesn't get its effect off. Wins games. 2 Lightning Chidoris, I only like 2. 3 gets Cloggy. There's been very few situations where I've been wanted to make a 3rd. I think 2's fine. 101, I really want to get a second one. It's an all-star card, gets over a lot of things. Now for the rank 7s, I run number 74. This card's amazing in the mirror match. Don't make Dracossack in the mirror match unless they already used their Big Eye. Big Eye. Self-explanatory. Every deck that makes rank 7 has to run Big Eyes. And this is a lot of surprise to some, but double Dracossack, because a lot of people don't expect a second Dracossack. Once they get over 1 Dracossack, a lot of people think they're safe. And making a Dracossack off a top deck channeler when you have like a hunting ground in your hand or something else and you can't do nothing with it wins games. Dracossack is still an all-star card. A lot of people say it's not that good anymore, but it's still one of my favorite rank 7s, and I think it's the king of Exceed still, in my opinion. And a lot of times, first turn, this is one of my favorite plays. Just summon Dracossack in defense mode. Can't 101 that. And a lot of decks can't get over the 2200 defense in the tokens. Now, for my side deck, I don't run that crazy of a side deck. It's just mainly tailored sort of for my locals. That Soul Drain for Dark Worlds and Water thing works against Boojins too. That Fossil Dyna, it works really clutch when you know how to use it. I've done it on the mirror match where I'll attack and then they'll get over my monsters and then I top deck this, I set it. They'll try to OTK me with a party or something, and they'll just attack all the channelers, dancers, and queens, all their harpies, and then this flips and just blows their field. A lot of people really, really hate Fossil Dyna. I run 2 Blackhorns in the side deck. I don't like the main deck them because they're not always useful in the main deck. They're really, really good cards, and I really do like it against synchro decks and a few decks that rely on the Exceeds. Now, I run 1 Shadow Mirror because there's Infernities and Dark Worlds at my locals. And if you get this early on, it wins a lot of games. Now, Boojins, I don't really have the worst of matchups against them, even though a lot of people think they do. But I still run 2 Light Imprisoning Mirrors. And 2 Mind Crush. Mind Crush is like the poor man's mistake. Anything you add to your hand this format, Fire Fist, Boojins, anything else, you just mind crush. Especially against Bujin players, they're a very linear deck. If they tanky add Mikasuchi, they have Yamato in their hand. And there's times where I've seen that happen and I pop multiple Yamatos out of a guy's hand. Mirror Reverse, this card's amazing, especially in the mirror match and against many other decks that's summoned from the deck. Madolche, this card's going to be really good against Madolche, especially against Angeli. Now, for OTK decks, I side Maxis and one Tragoria, because I think it has synergy with the Max C, where if I'm going to be drawing all these cards and I draw into this can potentially stop the OTK. And finally, one Trap Stun, because sometimes I just need that extra trap negation, and it works really well. And then my 4 little sheep tokens. I love them. Well, thank you, YouTube. This is my deck profile for the 2014 April ban list. And I hope to do well soon enough. I really would like to make it to Nationals, but I just haven't had time. I wasn't able to go to the Garden City Regional. Hopefully there's another regional or an OTS Store Championship soon. I really would like to top and try my hand at Nationals. I hope you all have a nice day, and I'm out.